Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest challenges we're facing. But more importantly, we're going to look at the real, practical things we can do that all start with just a single drop of water and a single person, you.
Take a look at this number, 9. And no, this isn't just some random number. Think of it as a countdown. In just 9 years, our world is on track to face a massive shift, one that's going to affect billions of people. So here's the deal. The United Nations is projecting that by 2030, 2/3 of us, that's over 5 billion people, are going to be living under what's called water stress. This isn't some far-off future we're talking about. This is right around the corner.
Okay, so what does water stress actually mean? Well, it's way more than just being a little thirsty. It means there literally isn't enough water to go around. Not for the farms growing our food, not for the industries building our stuff, and not even for our own homes.
Just try to picture what that future might look like. A world where you could have water rationing, where some of your favorite foods start getting harder and harder to find. A world where clean water from the tap isn't a guarantee anymore. And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It's the reality we really need to prevent. To tackle a problem this big, you first have to understand where it's coming from, right? So let's take a look at the single biggest user of our planet's fresh water. And I've got a feeling the answer is going to surprise you. The scale here is, well, it's staggering. A whopping 70% of all the fresh water we use on this planet goes to agriculture. That is a massive slice of the pie. And while, most of us aren't farmers, take a look at that smaller slice. Domestic use. That's us. And that's where our power is. So even though our homes are a smaller piece of that pie, all of our daily choices, when you add them up, become a critical part of the solution. It all starts right there, in our own homes. So the question is, how do we begin? And the best part is we can start right now with things that are just this simple. First, shut the water off when you're brushing your teeth. Easy. Second, maybe try to cut just a couple of minutes off your shower. And third, that leaky faucet you keep meaning to fix? Fix it. See, these aren't huge sacrifices. They're just small, conscious habits. And it's a totally fair question. It's so easy to think, come on, I'm just one person. What can my little habits really change? Well, let's actually break down the numbers, because the impact, it's genuinely mind-blowing. Let's start with just brushing your teeth. Every single time you turn that tap off instead of letting it run, you save up to 12 liters of water. Think about that. That's a lot of water for just 2 minutes of your day. Okay, now let's scale that up a bit. If you make that one simple change, just turning off the tap, over the next 9 years, you personally will save enough water to equal the volume of 7 adult elephants. I'm serious, 7 elephants, just from that one tiny habit. And what about that annoying dripping faucet? It seems so small, right? Just a drop here, a drop there. But a single leaky tap can waste up to 15 liters of water every single day. Day in and day out, it adds up to a shocking amount. And this is where it gets really powerful. If everyone in just one small classroom or office decided to fix one dripping tap, together, you would save enough water to fill 6 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That right there, that's the power of all of us acting together. This quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? The entire problem, and the solution, really comes down to how much we value one single, seemingly insignificant drop of water. Because that's how real change actually begins. When you start making these conscious choices, it doesn't just save water. It creates this ripple effect. Your friends, your family, your community, they see what you're doing, they learn, and then they join in. One person's action really can inspire another. And there's this really cool math to that ripple effect. 1 drop becomes 2. One person's new habit spreads to their whole neighborhood. That neighborhood can inspire an entire city. And a city that gets it right can help shift the mindset of a whole nation. It all starts with one. So let's just completely reframe this whole idea. Conserving water isn't about giving things up or living a life where you feel like you're missing out. It's about being powerful. It's about being mindful and recognizing the incredible value of this resource and, treating it with some respect. What we're doing is moving away from a culture of consumption, where we just use water without a second thought, and we're moving toward a culture of conservation. This new culture is all about understanding that every drop is precious and making choices that show we understand that. It's a much more connected and honestly responsible way to live.
So at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. We've seen the challenge, and we've seen the incredible power that we have in our small individual actions. The future of our planet's water is, quite literally, in our hands, one drop at a time. The only question left is, what will you do with yours?